Hey everyone, I'm Ana Evans, one of your wellness dietitians and nutrition program coordinator, and I am so excited to be here today to talk to you about transitioning off your 21-day whole body reset. And first I just want to say congratulations, you made it. Awesome, awesome job. I know it's a lot to jump into, especially after the new year. So we're here, day 21, we all were in it together and we made it. So I hope you're feeling great. And I know there's a lot of questions running in your head, so let's just jump into life after the reset and what that looks like. So I'm going to spend about 10 minutes today talking to you about what you have in your 7-day post-reset program and life beyond the reset. So I would suggest before you listen to this webinar, printing this out and going through it with me and using it to reference after these 21 days. So again, congratulations. Let's talk about what's next. The first thing you want to do is acknowledge your successes and your accomplishments. Take some time to realize how you're feeling. Think about all the aspects of your wellness, your physical well-being, your mental health, your sleep, your fitness level. Just identify some areas that you've seen improvement in. Use the checklist in your guidebook to mark some things off. Do you have clearer skin? Are you craving less sweets, less sugar, less food in general? Are you sleeping better? Are you noticing a healthier pattern of digestion? Maybe you're just thinking clearer or have more stable energy throughout the day. Whatever it is, use that checklist and check all those boxes because that's your new normal. That's going to be your baseline from now on that you can always come back to. And remember, this 21 days was a time to really set time apart and just take care of you and focus on that self-care so that you can just be happier and more comfortable in your body. So use that checklist, take some time, have a cup of tea, go over that, and we're gonna come back to that. So that's your first step in transitioning off the reset, is just acknowledging all your accomplishments and giving yourself a huge congratulations. Next, a lot of people ask if they should continue on the reset. Well, for some, you might need an extra week or two. 21 days is a great start, but you may need another week or two to kind of recreate some more habits. So maybe you didn't check quite as many boxes as you needed, and that's completely fine. You can stay on the reset for another week or two, and then come back to this and see if you're ready to transition. For those of you who are ready to transition, we're going to talk about some reintroduction, because I know we are eliminating some major food groups and some things that you normally were eating before. So let's discuss the role that those things will have in your daily diet. And again, follow along with me in your guidebook here and go ahead and navigate to the 7-day food reintroduction plan. So as we come off of the 21-day reset, we're not going to jump full-fledged into all the foods we were avoiding. You will be not feeling so great if you do that. So we want to kind of do this slowly and mindfully. So I'm going to give you some steps to do that. As we continue to live our life and strive towards a healthier lifestyle, we will continue to focus on whole food, lots of whole foods, lots of fruits, veggies, healthy proteins. A lot of the principles and ways you were eating during the reset are completely appropriate and a healthful way to live. But we can add some things back in to see how they make you feel. So during the 7 days of reintroduction, I would start with day 1, reintroducing some gluten. Gluten is fine for most people. You just want to focus on whole wheat products, barley or rye, that have less added ingredients and are of a whole source. So an example of that would be looking at these 2 different types of bread. So day 1, I would suggest adding in maybe a piece of whole grain toast with breakfast, perhaps some Triscuits, crackers with lunch, or maybe another piece of toast, and then at dinner, half a cup of whole wheat pasta. This will kind of give your body that gluten back in to see how you feel. Now, when you're looking for a healthy whole grain or wheat-containing food, you really want to look at your ingredient list. That's the key place to go. When you're looking for wheat products and whole grains, you really want to look for the word whole. So for example, this Dave's Killer Bread, the first word is organic whole wheat and whole wheat flour, cracked whole wheat, water, etc. All words that I can read and understand. So this would be a great product to find, and they have this bread. Harris Teeter, Walmart, Target, most stores. On the other hand, this honey wheat bread, I don't see the word whole. It's got added sugar, and it only has 2 grams of fiber. So really look for over 3 grams of fiber, not a lot of added sugar, and the word whole when it comes to your diet. Gluten-containing foods and grains can add a lot of fiber to your diet and are helpful for most people, but some people, they do cause stomach issues or digestive upset or achiness or headaches. So throughout the day of adding that gluten back in, see how you feel. Days 2 and 3, we're going to go back on the reset. This way you can really kind of measure how you feel on the reset versus that day you added gluten back in. So 2 and 3, back on the reset, check out some of those days from the meal plan and see how you feel. Throughout this process, each day, keep track of your symptoms as you add foods back in. And we're going to give you a food reintroduction symptom checklist, so you can follow that as well. Now we're on to day 4. Day 4, we're going to introduce dairy back in. The dairy group, in its whole form without added sugar, can really add some vital nutrients to our diet, such as protein, calcium. It's a very satiating food group for many, but again, some people don't tolerate it as well. And I will say it is up to your doctor to diagnose food allergies. So if you do suspect a food allergy, that autoimmune response to a certain food group, please make an appointment with your doctor if this is something that is really upsetting or you've really noticed that is causing upsets. But we can also identify intolerances by doing these elimination checks, which is what we did through the reset. So again, day 4, add 2 to 3 servings of dairy back in, but choose ones without any added sugar or added ingredients. This way, we know if we have any symptoms, it's from the dairy, not from all the other additives or sugar that's in that product. So, plain non-fat Greek yogurt versus a flavored coffee and cream blended Greek yogurt or any flavored yogurt. Choose the plain one and maybe add a little bit of that honey back in or some berries or nuts. Try to avoid ones with added sugar. So day 4, you might have a yogurt with breakfast, maybe a low-fat cheese stick at lunch, and perhaps a glass of 1% milk with dinner at night. See how that dairy makes you feel. Do you have more headaches? How's your stomach feeling? Are you feeling sleepy, less energy? Just really be aware of all the aspects of your well-being as you add that back in. So day 5 and 6, go back on the reset, and again, measure up how those days on the reset made you feel. Measure that up against the day 4 when you added the dairy back in. Many of you might realize that the whole unprocessed forms of dairy and gluten are fine for you. If that's the case, you can reintroduce those foods back in and again, use the added sugars, the ingredient list, the whole forms of those foods, and include them as part of a healthy diet as you transition forward. We just want to stay away from all the gluten and dairy and food products that have excess calories and salt and sugar added to them. We just want your diet to be as whole and unprocessed as possible to, again, keep reaching towards that goal of optimal health. So we're on day 6, day 7. This is kind of when you have to start to identify and define the role that the other foods and drinks we are eliminating during the reset have in your life. So the booze, the caffeine, and the sugar. These were some of the 3 biggies that we eliminated during the reset that many of you will have to just identify, again, the role that they have in your life. Our recommendation is just to downplay them as you move forward into reaching a healthy weight, maintaining a healthy weight. View these foods as extra. We really want to get our energy and our nutrients and our vitamins and our calories from whole unprocessed grains and dairy products and fruits and vegetables and lean proteins and beans. So focus more on these foods. Whenever you go to eat a food, ask yourself, is this getting me closer or further away from my goal? And that's a good just mindfulness activity to include every time you eat. You really have to just take some time as you transition off this reset and remind yourself how good you feel. And ask yourself, when it comes to some of these extra splurges, is this really serving me? Is this helping me get towards my goal? And is this offering my body any nutrients? Sometimes there's a time and a place for something sweet, such as maybe your grandma's cake that she makes that you really love, or a glass of wine with a nice family dinner. Enjoy it, have it. Your body is in a position, well nourished, where it can deal with some incoming, less nutrient-dense food. Just try not to make it maybe as much of a habit as it was before the reset. So everyone's everyone's relationship with these items will be different and the amount that they show up will be different, but the key goal is to just keep them at a minimum. The sugary drinks, the sweets, added refined sugars, keep up with your maple syrup, your honey, your stevia, the natural sweeteners, all of the water you've been drinking, and just minimize the excess calories. Keep up the progress you've been making. So that's our reintroduction protocol. Now, another thing I will tell you to be aware of is how easy it can be to slip out of the routine of food prep. I understand, we've all been in the kitchen, chopping, prepping, spending lots of time on our food prep for the reset, and I want you to keep that up. The only way to really succeed with a healthier lifestyle, lowering blood cholesterol or blood sugars, losing weight or maintaining a healthy weight, is to really spend some time and fall in love with your kitchen, prepping things, chopping, grocery shopping. It takes a little bit of time and thought, but it does get easier with time. So continuing to prep is a really important aspect of maintaining your healthy lifestyle. So I will just really emphasize that, and we will continue to provide you with resources on our website and appointments and different things to keep you engaged with that process. So a couple of other things as we flip through your guidebook that you'll notice in here is that there is a section on vital nutrients. And this is a table that will go over things like calcium, protein, carbohydrates, fiber, artificial sweeteners, added sugars, and give you some general tips on how much of those things to have each day. So reference this chart, and again, this is a broad overview of those. So we suggest, as a key accountability and part of your transition plan, to schedule an appointment with one of us, the wellness dietitians, to really give you some individual recommendations on how to transition off of this 21-day reset in a way that is individualized for your lifestyle and will help you maintain your results. So check out that key nutrients for optimal health section. Now, one of my favorite parts of this guidebook is the section titled Meet the 80-20 Rule. And the general gist of this is that if 80% of the time we're living a reset-friendly lifestyle, most of our foods and meals are full of color and fruits and vegetables, foods that we cook at home, lots of water, frequent healthy snacking. If we're doing that 80% of the time, we have about a 20% wiggle room throughout the day to maybe have things within our caloric limit that aren't as clean or as unprocessed as possible. So maybe you have a couple of Hershey Kisses, or perhaps it's the glass of wine at night. You have that little bit of wiggle room if you're on track 80 to 90% of the time. Now, I think that's a little bit more of a realistic, practical approach than thinking that you are 100% of the time for the rest of your life never going to have, some of these more splurge foods. So having that restored, healthy relationship with food is one of our main goals for this program, and we hope that you're experiencing that freedom and that sense of being more in touch with what your body really needs and what foods and drinks really serve you and make you feel well. So that's a fun part of the book, is that 80-20 rule. Now, one of the last parts here is a section called Setting New Goals and Intentions. And this has to do kind of with your whole wheel of wellness, all the different areas that make you as healthy as possible. So anything from nutrition to sleep to exercise to stress management to fun and recreation. Continually keep those areas of your life in check and keep setting yourself 21-day goals. 21 days is a great amount of time to set new habits, and an even better way to accomplish those goals is to do it with a group or an accountability partner. So a friend, a coworker, a family member, anyone. Just set new goals, reach them, keep it fun, keep it exciting, and just continually build on this castle of wellness you've really built a beautiful foundation for during this 21-day reset. So keep that in mind as you transition off the plan. So this is just touching the tip of the iceberg of how to transition off of the 21-day reset while maintaining your results and even continuing to reach them. I hope by now you're all confident in your ability to establish new healthy habits in your life, and that you feel empowered by all the willpower you've put into this and all the hard work. And again, congratulations for finishing strong. So I'll leave it at that and just remind you to call us at 667-4013 to schedule a free appointment with a wellness dietitian for a new plan, caloric goals, and tips on meeting your nutrition needs for your individual needs and plan. So give us a call. We also have grocery store tours, cooking classes here. We always keep it exciting. We want to feed you well. And just keep up the amazing work, putting yourself and your health first. Have a great day.